Hold on.
What?
Our day is not over just yet.
Woohoo! USA!
We have an action-packed hour for you 6 p.m. drivers.
Would I rather be feared or loved? Easy, both. I want people to be afraid of how much they love me.
Matt Skraby wraps up a full day of live and local sports talk.
And that is the whole problem with aliens. You just can't trust them. Occasionally you meet a nice one, but usually they turn out to be some kind of big lizard.
The Skraby Show starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hello and welcome into the Skraby Show for October 22nd, 2025. I am Matt Skraby. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. We have, it's a little bit of a slower night, so I'm not sure what direction the latter part of the show is going to go. But if you were watching the YouTube, which you can watch every single day, all of our shows, you can go to YouTube, search 97.3 The Fan, or you can go to the Skraby Show, youtube.com/@the Skraby Show, Facebook 97.3 The Fan, and Twitch 97.3 The Fan, plus X for me at Matt Skraby, MATTSKRAB as in boy, Y. I guess my Daily Gripe can start early, but I have to pay for X because it's the only way you're able to broadcast live on the platform. And our station account is not verified, which I don't really think it should be verified because you have to pay for it, but it is getting expensive. So I don't know how much longer I'm going to have the X handle doing the whole broadcasting live thing. So we'll see about that as we go forward. But if you were just paying attention to the YouTube before I started the show, you would have seen me maybe sort of jump a little bit. And that was because I was not paying attention to the door. And Tony Gwynn Jr. walked in, didn't see him. All of a sudden, I got someone standing in the side of my eye, and I jumped a little bit. I'm a little jumpy. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of all the scary movies I watch, but I am sometimes a little scaredy cat, and I jump. But I think a lot of people jump. I don't know if it's that bad of a thing, but anyway, that is what happened before the show. Now, tonight, we are going to be talking about some of the managerial news that's happening. There's not any news of what happened with Albert Pujols today. I should go check one more time just to make sure, because I don't expect any news out of the Albert Pujols meeting. No, nothing from AC, so I think we're good there. But there's also been some hirings, and the hiring that the Giants made of former Tennessee coach Tony Vitello is a very, very interesting hiring. And the reason I say that, by the way, he's not changing colors at all, because Tennessee, he's wearing a black and an orange jersey in this little photo here. Anyway, that was just an aside. But Tony Vitello has no experience at the big league level. And I think that he does have experience in leading baseball teams to national championships, but I feel like everything changes once you go to the pro ranks. Personalities are way different when you're a pro. And that's because there's money involved, and that's because there's people who are adults involved. And so Tony Vitello, if it does work out for the Giants and Buster Posey, I think that you're going to see a lot of teams do this. You're going to see a lot of teams go out and find a coach in college that is successful and willing to take the leap to Major League Baseball. Now, here are some, I shouldn't trash this whole decision based upon just the name. So here are some of the background stats and information on Tony Vitello. 23 seasons coaching NCAA baseball, 6 NCAA regional appearances, 3 men's college World Series appearances, 10 first-round draft picks produced, 8 seasons as head coach at Tennessee, 5 NCAA super regional appearances, the 2024 national champion, and 42 total draft picks since 2021, which is most in the nation. Now, those are really good numbers. Those are really good resume things that you're going to put on your resume when you go interview for a job. My question is, how is he going to deal with the grind of a Major League Baseball season? Because I think we all think it's very easy. We all think that it's, the manager has a job where he, puts out the lineup, makes bullpen moves. But the manager job is so much more. You are basically the go-to for everyone. If anyone has an issue with anything, they're coming to you. You're putting out small fires all the time. And the small fires are time consuming. And I know that he has done this at the college level, but like I said, there are some major personalities in a Major League Baseball clubhouse, and they have one major personality in the San Francisco Giants clubhouse, which is Rafael Devers. And Buster Posey, I think he's trying to outthink the room, because he didn't, in my opinion, he didn't like any of the managerial candidates that were currently being offered or currently wanting to interview for the Giants job or qualified to interview for the Giants job. And so I can understand why he's doing this. And I've said this on the show before, and I'll say it again. So this doesn't change it, but it's not bad to do things different. It isn't. But I think you got to put yourself in the right spot to do things different. And for some reason, I don't know why, and the guy shot me down earlier, for some reason, I get this feeling that this is not going to work out. And obviously, I don't know that it's not going to work out. But I think as a Padres fan and as a National League West watcher, I think this is possibly a good move for the Padres, because they're putting a guy with no Major League managerial experience in the hot seat. And we all saw how that went when the Padres had a couple managers in the hot seat, or new managers that we had never heard before, Jace Tingler, Andy Green. Those things didn't work out. And I'm not saying that those two, Jace Tingler and Andy Green, can be compared to the resume of Tony Vitello, new manager of the Giants. But I just don't know that this is the right move right now for that team. Buster Posey has the world right now. He is a part owner of the team. The ownership absolutely loves him. He was a Giant for life, so I understand why he is getting the attention, or why he's getting the why he has the ability to basically do whatever he wants. Trading for Rafael Devers, I think, also was kind of an interesting trade. I didn't think many people from the Giants, fandom, my friends up there, they did not understand that trade. It ended up, Rafael Devers ended up being a pretty good player for them, but I think that Buster Posey, and this is purely my opinion and speculation, but I think that Buster Posey, because he was such a highly regarded player, highly accomplished player, rookie of the year, MVP, 3 World Series titles, I think because he has all that behind him, he's trying to outthink the room. And I think that's going to hurt him in the end. I think that he thinks that he is making a choice that's going to be the new wave of things. But when things get real, I want to see how this manager handles all those personalities in the clubhouse. And in college, you choose to go there. You sign on to the team because you want to play for someone. You want to play for that manager. You want to play, I guess they call them coaches in college. But you want to play for that coach. You have the choice to go play for that coach. In baseball, you don't. You're drafted by an organization. Whether you like that organization or not, doesn't matter. You're likely going to play there. And so when there is some friction in the clubhouse, how is he going to handle that? I think these are all very interesting questions that we're going to be watching throughout the year. And I really don't even know how he does things. Is he an analytics guy? Is he a go with my gut guy? I'm sure he's more of an analytics guy because Buster Posey is. I know that Buster Posey said that Buster Posey is an analytics, but he's also a feel guy. So Buster Posey said when he was looking for a manager and said that Bruce Bochy wasn't coming back, or Mike Schilt wasn't going to San Francisco. He said that he wanted a manager that's going to work as much as he is, which basically breathe, eat, and sleep Giants baseball for the next year or however many years he's the manager. So we'll see how all this works because the workload has amped up a lot for Tony Vitello. And I'm not saying, I can't say if it's going to work or not. I just don't get a good feeling about it. Steve says, I'm with you, Skraby. Would expect harsh growing pains for Giants next 3 years or so with a new manager, which does lead me to another topic, which is he did get a 3-year contract with the Giants. So they're locked. Well, I mean, they're not locked in. We've all seen coaches be dismissed before their contract is up. But this whole thing has fascinated me because I have a bunch of friends up in the Bay Area who love Giants baseball, and I love to go ask them things about what they're feeling with Giants baseball. But this one I think it's a little bit of a head scratcher for some fans up there. So to bring it back to the Padres managerial position, I think that I don't think the Padres are in a position to do something like this. I don't think they're in a position right now to take a chance on a guy and hope that he works out. And I just spent the last 10 minutes talking about how Tony Vitello has no major league managerial experience. Neither does Albert Pujols. But Albert Pujols also hit over 700 home runs. Albert Pujols was also a player who won World Series. Albert Pujols was a superstar. And he did all of his resume building while he was playing. Now, does that make him a good manager? I have no idea. I have no idea if that will make him a good manager. I've seen different opinions about Albert Pujols being manager. And the different opinions, I think you can imagine, are pretty, black or white. He is not going to do well because he doesn't have experience, or he is going to do well because he has experience. I'm going to lean towards that he is going to do well just because it would be more fun for all of us if he does well. But this is why I think the Padres, and I said this last week, this is why I think the Padres cannot go and do something where they're hiring a guy that is underwhelming or a guy who is not seemingly, I guess the word's not qualified, but not seemingly it's not the right time in their career to be the manager of the Padres. They have to have someone come in and just pick up where Mike Schilt left off and not have to do some of these things of trying to figure out how to manage on the fly at the major league level. So Brian Esposito, bench coach for the Padres, interviewed as well. Albert Pujols did his interview today, so we might hear some things in the next couple days. Kurt Suzuki took a deal with the Angels, but he had a weird deal. It was a year contract, which is very strange. But I'm going to be watching this situation closely because his college resume tells me that he's a good coach, but he has no numbers at the major league level. So we'll see. We'll see. And again, Buster Posey is much smarter in baseball than I am, but sometimes people who are really smart at one thing or really smart at something, they're blind to some of the more obvious red flags that are being put up. So we'll see. All right, I'm Matt Skraby. This is the Skraby Show on 97.3 The Fan. We are going to be going till 7 o'clock. When we get back, I have tried very hard to understand this story that was put in the San Diego Union Tribune. When was this done? October 20th, so Monday morning. I've been trying to understand this story. It's very complicated about the sports arena area. So we'll get into what happened, and we'll talk about it here when we get back on 97.3 The Fan.
Are you sick and tired of being, well, way too heavy? I sure was. Hey, it's Ben from Ben & Woods. Over 2 years ago, I was unhealthy and overweight and needed to do something about it. I created an entirely new me with the help of SD Fat Loss, and I didn't need any medications or injections with all the scary side effects. I did it with real people that guided me every step of the way to learn how to eat right and create new habits that fit my lifestyle. The results? I lost 40 pounds in 60 days, and I've kept it off. If you want to join me, Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Elba, Matt Skraby, and so many tier ones out there and get serious about losing up to 20% of your body fat in 60 days, go to sdfatloss.com today to schedule your free consultation. And if you sign up before October 31st, you'll get $200 off your program. Plus, there's no shakes or bars or meals to buy because it's all based on real foods. Go to sdfatloss.com now to schedule your free consultation. That's sdfatloss.com. Do it today and you won't thank me. You'll thank yourself in about 2 months. sdfatloss.com. Results may vary.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hey guys, it is Woodsy, and your next ride is sunbathing at Sedano Ford and Lincoln in La Mesa. Welcome to the October Spooktacular savings going on right now. As we enjoy San Diego's fall sunshine and amazing savings, Manny Sedano, Marine Vet, and car matchmaker extraordinaire offers unbeatable deals like the 2025 Ford Mach-E Select, just $341 a month, just $1 down. Need a truck? The 2025 Ford F-150 STX, $1 down and $467 a month. Or grab the 2025 Bronco Sport Big Ben, just $1 down, just $335 a month. And if you're looking for savings and luxury, how about the 2025 Lincoln Corsair Hybrid, all-wheel drive, just $355 a month on a 36-month lease. Spooktacular, right? Visit their amazing inventory at Sedano Ford and Lincoln Megastore. Secure your steal and fall into great savings with the $1 down savings all month long. Let them know Woodsy sent you. For more details about these offers, go to SedanoFord.com or SedanoLincoln.com. Do it today.
Oh, no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where did I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound, that's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
It all comes down to this, folks.
Yep, the entire season is on the line. But my throat has officially thrown in the towel.
Sounds like you need Vicks VapoCool drops. They're max strength and vaporize sore throat pain.
Whoa! These VapoCool drops hit fast.
Speaking of fast, did you just see that play?
Yeah, he vaporized that ball.
That pun should have come with a penalty.
Vaporize sore throat pain with Vicks VapoCool drops. Use as directed.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
All guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the David P. Shapiro Fan Hotline. David P. Shapiro, criminal defense attorneys helping good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime since 2010. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com. Matt Skraby, 97.3 The Fan, Skraby Show. And I just reread this article one more time, but I am not someone who is good at regulations and understanding regulations and laws. And so that's why I never became a lawyer. And I just talk about them instead. But before I get into this, I'm just letting you know, I'm sorry if I present something incorrectly. I think I got the gist of this down, but I'm sorry if I if I get some of the details wrong, because it's very involved. But it's all about San Diego's Midway district. And this article is, the byline says, appellate court ruling finds that the city of San Diego violated state environmental law and abused its power by putting a 2022 ballot measure before voters without the proper analysis. Court orders reinstatement of 30-foot height limit in San Diego's Midway district, meaning you cannot build a building that is over 30 feet in that area. And I didn't know that was a thing, but it does limit what they can do. And there is a group that is trying to build a new arena. They're also trying to build some affordable housing, new entertainment center, thousands of apartments. And that's what they're trying to build there, this group. Midway Rising is what this group is called. And so there's another group called Save Our Access that is working to make sure that laws are being followed and things are being, boxes are being checked. And so I don't have an issue with Save Our Access making sure that everything is going according to how it should. On the other hand, I do think that this is another reason why San Diego will just not get bigger, because it won't have, as many great events, because it doesn't seem like there is an agreement between the citizens of San Diego, all of us. And the agreement is, hey, we need a new entertainment center to bring in bigger things. We need a Taylor Swift concert. Yes, we have Petco Park, but Taylor Swift plays much bigger stadiums than Petco Park. So if you want Taylor Swift in San Diego, you're going to have to build a massive either arena or outdoor facility, something like that. And we all know what happened with the Chargers Stadium. It just never happened. People did not want to approve the measure to get money involved with the Chargers Stadium, which I also kind of agree with that as well. But Gonzo just said something. The 30 feet height limit is for planes, I'm pretty sure. I didn't read that in here, but it makes sense. It definitely makes sense. They're more talking about Save Our Access is more talking about CEQA, which is California's Environmental Quality Act. And they're saying that the city just basically ignored that and continued to push through Midway Rising. And basically what Save Our Access is saying is that the city is not following any of the laws. The environmental impact study of everything, and what they were looking at was greenhouse gases, how many, if more people are in the area and more cars are in the area, what does that do to parking? And what does that do to surrounding environmental areas? Is there, I'm just making this up off the top of my head, is there going to be more sewage that's being put into the water by accident, groundwater? I don't know. But basically what they're saying is, like, this is going to affect this whole thing is going to affect the environmental laws here in San Diego. I'm trying to do this and I don't even understand it myself. Basically, though, the city of San Diego and Midway Rising have said that they are going to go forward with this. and they have different laws within the state that help with affordable housing. And so sometimes those laws can overrule affordable housing or overrule height limits. And so they may be able to go through and build this. But it looks like since the city lost its appeal, it is going to be stopped for a little bit. But Midway Rising is going to go forward with this. They say that it's going to happen. They think that this plan can advance as is. They were trying to create, here's the numbers, 4,254 total residential units, a 16,000 seat replacement arena, and 130,000 square feet of commercial space on 49.2 acres of land in the Midway district. I don't know. I drive by. I used to drive by the arena, sports arena, more than I do now. But even when I was driving by it years ago, it just is not a great place. Like, I don't understand why we can't make things better. And while I say I don't understand why we can't make things better, I do understand that we have to be environmentally conscious about things. We can't just build things and then dump a bunch of stuff into the ocean and just cause a bunch of chaos. I don't like this because it just seems like anytime anything in this city tries to happen, there's always something that is going to stop it from happening. And I'm not even talking about Midway Rising making money, because they're going to be making money off of this, these apartment buildings, this arena. I'm not cool with a group just moving forward because, it's going to be a good money grab. I want this to be something that's for the city. I want something to believe, or I want something in the city so people can come to it and they see it and they're like, wow, that is great. And I just don't think it's going to happen anymore because things don't happen. And the sports arena is sitting there on this huge parking lot. And the last time I was in the sports arena, it was not great. So something has to happen with that. And Clay said something that is in addition to the conversation. Skraby, the 30-foot height limit in the Midway district does exist. However, I believe that Midway Rising is able to continue because the state of California and the need for affordable housing. That's what they're saying, Clay. They're saying that they can continue forward because of the affordable housing rules that allow for things to be built and ignore height limits. In the end, on this whole thing, I want it to be done right, but I also want it to be done. I want to have something here at San Diego. And even when they tried to do the NASCAR thing, well, they are going to do the NASCAR thing. When it first was being proposed that NASCAR was going to come to San Diego, the first detractors from this idea were like, well, are they going to pay for our potholes? They're going to ruin our streets. They're going to, blah, 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 blah. Like, in order to get these events to San Diego, we're going to have to, maybe accommodate that a little bit. I don't understand why some people don't want these events in town. And I'm not even a person who goes to these events, but I do know that these events bring in money, bring in eyeballs, and it's a good thing. You want people to come to San Diego. I can tell you right now, no one is traveling from around the country to go to the sports arena to see some concert or whatever is being held there now. Goals, I don't even know. So I would like for something to happen right. I don't want to force it through. I don't want loopholes, which it seems like there are loopholes. But man, oh man, would it be nice to have some of the biggest bands in the world come to San Diego? Because they would come to San Diego. And if they can't get to Petco Park, they have nowhere else to really go. I guess you have, I still call it the Coors Amphitheater, but it's, I believe it's Mattress. I don't even know what it is anymore. But they have that arena as well down there. But this is something that would be close to downtown, that would be close to restaurants, shopping, bars, things like that. And I just want to see the city of San Diego move forward rather than just stay in the same exact status quo that we've seen for a very long time. All right, that's my whole rant there. Again, I'm not saying I'm an expert on this, but I am someone who is I am someone who needs to know about this, and I am someone who is a person who I am someone who's a resident of San Diego County. So I would like to know about these things, and I'll try to get better at talking about these things going forward. But I know there's a lot of different things that can make people upset, and I'm not trying to make anyone upset. I'm just trying to say sometimes our city needs to look bigger than we do, but not if it's at the expense of, rich people making more money because they push something through and they pay people off. I'm not saying that happened, but hey, it has happened in the past around the world. So again, please don't come at me for my opinion. Everybody's entitled to theirs, but I would like to see more done here in San Diego. All right, now that I'm out of that, I wanted to talk a little bit about Mike Trout and his testifying in the Tyler Skaggs case, because it's very interesting what Mike Trout said. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. And also, we will talk about something that is very sad to me. One of my favorite golf events is not happening this year. More Skraby Show on the other side.
Quinn and Chris.
Final segment of the Skraby Show for tonight. I'll be back on Friday with another Skraby Show. Tomorrow we have Thursday night football, and I'm doing a really bad job this week of keeping up on my sports. I have no idea who plays tomorrow on Thursday night football. It's the Vikings at the Chargers. So at least an possibly offensive game, but we'll have that tomorrow on the station, and then on Friday I'll have a Skraby Show to close out the week. All right, let's get into something serious, because it is serious. But Mike Trout, he testified in the Tyler Skaggs trial. The Skaggs family is suing the Angels for wrongful death, seeking $118 million and asserting the team violated its own rules by allowing Eric K, to remain on staff despite the dangers posed by his drug use. Now, I want to talk about this for basically one reason, and it's not to trash Mike Trout at all. I think Mike Trout probably did a really good job with this, given the amount of information that he was privy to. And I get it. It's not easy to know what to do when things like this happen. When you find out a coworker or a friend is struggling with drugs, and you don't know if you need to go tell someone else or if you should just go talk to that person directly. And that is what Mike Trout did. He did go talk to Eric K directly, but I think he deserves a lot of credit in this, because in a very serious and delicate situation, Mike Trout did try to at least put himself, or at least let Eric K, the communications director at the time, let him know it's not okay what he's doing. And this, I think it was also harder to talk about this stuff publicly in 2019. I think substance abuse is a little bit more accepted here in 2025, but it's very sad that this was occurring in front of so many different people, and either they didn't notice, or they looked the other way, or they noticed and they just didn't care. But Eric K was the one who provided Tyler Skaggs with the oxycodone, fentanyl-laced oxycodone in 2019. And here's where I want to talk about what Mike Trout did, because Mike Trout saw some of the signs that were from Eric K that were being exhibited by him as someone who was addicted to drugs and was abusing drugs. And so they brought Trout to talk about this because they wanted to get an indication of how much people around the organization knew, how much he knew. And he was on the stand for 2 hours, and he said that he said basically he saw Skaggs drink alcohol, but he had never seen Skaggs use other drugs other than marijuana, and he had no outward sign of using drugs. And let me tell you this, long ago, I'm coming up on 9 years without a drink, and long ago, there were some people, actually, I'll use Tony Gwynn Jr. as an example, because Tony and I worked together before I came over here at my last station, and he would fill in sometimes for one of the hosts. And so Tony actually knows Drunk Skraby. He just never even knew. But that's how good I was at hiding things. That's how good I was at being a chameleon and putting a brave face, not a brave face, putting a good face on so that I can get through my day and can get to my next bottle of alcohol. But, and I'm not saying that Tony wasn't paying attention or anything like that. I'm just bringing that up because that is how easy it is for someone who has a substance abuse problem. It sometimes is easy for people to play it off like they're fine. And so Mike Trout said this. And what I think that Mike Trout did that is something, looking back, he probably thought he was doing enough, but he did say that he went up to Eric K, the guy who gave Tyler Skaggs the drugs, And he said because things were going so bad for Eric K that Mike Trout said, you have 2 boys at home and you have to get this right. I'm not saying that Mike Trout did anything wrong here, but for anybody out there who may find themselves in a situation like this, I think that in a perfect world, Mike Trout would have gone higher than just talking to Eric K. Ultimately, it's not really Mike Trout's business isn't the right word, because he felt like it was getting so bad that he needed to say something, but it's not Mike Trout's job to put himself in that position. And so if you feel like maybe you have a coworker out there that is acting weird, or you notice that they're more depressed, or you notice that they smell like alcohol or something like that, I guess the human reaction is to talk to that person. And for sure, go talk to that person. I had a coworker talk to me one time and be like, hey man, you are smelling a lot of like alcohol a lot lately. And I basically just wrote it off saying, oh, I'm just having a good time going out with my friends, blah, 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 blah. And that wasn't the truth, because that person called me out because they knew something was up. And it didn't stop anything. I continued to drink. And that person could have gone a little bit higher, because I was working and I was showing up hungover, and I was showing up sometimes probably drunk the night before. And even though you couldn't notice, it was still there. So that coworker could have gone to someone else and talked to them about it. And then, maybe I don't have a job anymore. Or maybe that boss comes to me and says, hey, we've had a report that you smell like alcohol, and we're not going to fire you. We're not going to write you up or anything like that, but we care about you and we think that you need to get this under control. And so if Mike Trout maybe went a little bit higher in the food chain, maybe something would have happened. I can't say anything would have happened, but I feel like Mike Trout was put in a really tough spot by having to be in the middle of all this. He even saw Tyler Skaggs in the elevator the night of his death, and he said that he didn't really look like there was anything going on with him. And Mike Trout said that's very sad for him, knowing that he saw him in the elevator and now knowing what he was going to do, Tyler Skaggs, what he was going to do, and he ended up losing his life. I mean, some of the other things that Trout said that he would that would happen with Eric K. Eric K asked Trout for autographs, and Eric K would go and get autographs from Mike Trout so that he can get them for friends or family or something like that. But Trout started getting to the point where he was limiting how many things he signed, because he felt like the money he felt like his autographs were being sold, and he felt like that money was going toward illicit drug use. And so he started limiting that. That's a sign of people trying to make money, and that's a very dishonest way to make money, but that's what alcoholics addicts do. Also, Trout said that he dared the communications employee to do multiple acts deemed as horseplay for various amounts of money, including taking a 90-mile-an-hour fastball to the body, eating a bug off the clubhouse floor, and another crude act. The reason that Trout said this is because this is how desperate he was to get some money. This is how desperate he was he would do anything to get his fix, which I know that I did back in the day. I am not proud to say that I have told my parents this, but at the time I had stolen money from their wallet. Not proud of that at all. And I say it now because I want to own up to what I did. And so you can go into some very, very treacherous places when you were trying to get a little bit of money to support your habit. And Trout, in the end, Trout is not responsible for this, obviously, but I do think that Mike Trout did a good thing by going to actually talk to the guy. Mike Trout could have just turned the other way and not said anything, because it doesn't involve him. Mike Trout is a very big name in baseball. Very big name in baseball. And he's being paid a lot of money. So why would he involve himself in something like this? And I think that kind of tells you what kind of person he is that he felt strongly enough about Eric K to go up to him and say, hey, you have some kids at home and you are going to lose your life if you keep going in that direction. But we'll keep paying attention to this news story and we'll see what happens with this. I'm not sure where this is going to go, but again, the Skaggs family is suing the Angels for wrongful death, saying that they employed Eric K knowing that he was supplying drugs and he knew the team knew about the dangers that were being posed in the clubhouse. So it's a sad, very, very, very sad story, but it's also a story I think that we can all learn from and we can all put ourselves in that position. What would you do if one of your close coworkers was starting to slide a little bit and you saw that they were going down the dark path? I was going to call it the upside down, but that is not, that's Stranger Things. And by the way, Stranger Things is coming out soon. It's only been forever. Juan says, proud of you, Skraby. My brother is almost 3 years sober. Nice job. It's really not easy. It's really not easy. Hugo says, what's up, Skraby? Dominic says, Bob Saget did much worse. Yes. I'm not even going to go there, but if you've ever seen Half Baked, you will know exactly what happened in that movie with Bob Saget and what he said. Okay. Almost to the end of the show. Let's do my Halloween movie of the night. And this is a movie that I've completely forgot about. And this is a movie that I've watched many, many times. But when I was thinking about what movie what Halloween movie or scary movie I wanted to tell everybody about, it finally came to me. It's called As Above, So Below. It was a 2014 movie. Here's the little blurb. When a team of explorers venture into the catacombs that lie beneath the streets of Paris, they uncover the dark secret that lies within this city of the dead. And so basically the main character girl, she has a dad that was like a explorer, like kind of like an Indiana Jones. And so they found something and then they wanted to go into the Paris catacombs so that they can go and try to find whatever else they needed to try to find. And it gets a little crazy, and there's some claustrophobia scenes. There's some very, very creepy and scary things that happen in this movie. And I think everybody should watch it. If you're in for a scary movie, I did not like this movie. And maybe it was because I saw it, I saw it in a different headspace, but this movie was creepy. And the catacombs really creeped me out. I went to Rome with my parents when I was 18. They took us to Rome. And the catacombs were so scary. I did not like those things in Rome. I did not like it. Just walking by like skeletons underground. It actually was kind of nice because it was very hot in Rome, but ugh.
What's annoying Skraby today? Let's find out. It's time for the Daily Gripe.
I don't know if I've ever used this Daily Gripe before, but it happened to me recently, so I'm going to bring it back up. I don't like it when I have to repeat myself when I'm ordering food. Other day, I was getting a sandwich. They asked me what I wanted on the sandwich. I told them what I wanted on the sandwich. They forgot what I wanted on the sandwich. They ended up asking me again, what would you like on the sandwich? I repeated what I wanted on the sandwich, and they only did 2 of the 3 instructions. So I had to tell them again. I don't even know what I wanted at that point. I'll just say I wanted some mayonnaise on it. So I wanted mayonnaise. They just kept forgetting. My daily gripe is this. I don't like having to repeat my order at a food place over and over and over and over again. I can understand people forgetting, being on autopilot at work. I can understand that. But once you ask the second time, you got to pay attention. You really got to pay attention. Rod says, good one. I hate ketchup and I always say no ketchup. I can't read the rest of that, but they smother things in ketchup. Yeah, I would never go into a place and say anything that they did was wrong because then I would be afraid. But anyway, that's it. Listen to my food order, please. All right, back tomorrow. Gwen and Chris, 2 p.m. Good night.
Hey, it's Ben and Wood.